My name is Leigh Machen, and I teach at Benton High School in Bossier Parish. As an educator, I'm most passionate about changing the mindsets of teachers when it comes to challenging students, and the mindset of children who believe they are unteachable, unreachable, or unlovable. I have always had a heart for students who struggle. I'm also a licensed therapist, so students with significant academic, behavioral, or emotional struggles are often put with me their freshman year in one of my classes. And for 18 weeks, we begin the work that is necessary to rewire their faulty belief systems. Our partnership does not end at the end of the semester. I am often paired with these students as their Tier 2 behavior intervention and academic counselor. I take on the role as advocate for their entire time with us at Benton High School. That is my passion. In all transparency, this is not a passion for the faint of heart. It is challenging, it never yields immediate results, and seldom yields visible changes while they are with me. But the fruit of this labor is still sweet. It just comes much later and goes beyond the classroom. In this clip, you will see two different lessons from two different classes that are on the opposite ends of the academic spectrum. My 9th grade reading language class and my 9th grade English 1 pre-AP class. I want the panel to see the dichotomy between the two classes, as well as the similarities that connect them. For these lessons, it's important to understand that both groups struggle with growth. One group doubts they can grow, the other group doubts they need to grow. We overcome those beliefs in this room with clear learning outcomes, high-quality text, and students taking ownership of their learning through peer interaction rooted in academic talk. With both of these classes, you will see my role is to check for understanding, adjust instruction, scaffold to mastery, and move students from teacher support to independence. The first lesson is with my 9th grade reading language class using the Language Live curriculum. For this reading language lesson, we will read the article Censorship, which is a passage that meets LDOE's expectations for complexity in our Language Live textbook. After we read the article out loud together, students will break into their predetermined groups to annotate the article to determine the main idea and key details of each paragraph. Students will then work together in their workbooks to answer questions about the text, finding text evidence to support their answer. We play a game with the workbook pages and things can get pretty cutthroat. So in the last portion of the lesson, I'm hopeful you'll see the students challenging each other's answers. The main objective every day with this class is to create a positive, fun, engaging classroom culture where they feel safe enough to show their deficiencies and take risks to try something new. Our secondary objective today is to determine main idea, identify key details, and cite evidence that supports claims. This group is unique because I can have a plan, but oftentimes we have to deviate from the plan when the gaps in learning present themselves. And then I have to tailor my next steps to address those learning gaps. You might see a bit of that today. So today, you guys are going to reread Censorship. We're going to read it together, okay? Then we're going to annotate the passage and we're going to focus on finding the main idea and the key details. Censorship. Are there rules controlling what can be heard or seen on television and radio? When you listen to a song on the radio, does it ever sound different from the version on your MP3 player? Have you ever watched... Hands free, eyes on me for just a moment. Okay, now we're going to begin, since we have read, we are now going to begin to annotate. You guys have already annotated the vocabulary words, and you have already written a couple of summary sentences along the way. We are looking today for the main idea of the passage. We've studied main idea before, but I just want to briefly give you some main idea tips, okay? When we are thinking about the main idea, I want you to think about what the passage is mostly about, okay? If you think about what the passage is mostly about, that will kind of guide you to your main idea, all right? If you're still unsure, look in the passage and see what the author is repeating. If he repeats it, it's important. As I come and walk around to your groups, I want to hear you discussing the focus part of the passage, which is paragraph 3. okay? And I want to see you highlighting the main idea and those details that support that main idea. What do you think?
We don't understand it.
Okay, let's take a look. Okay, let's everyone look at paragraph 3 together, okay? Here's another tip that it doesn't always happen, but it sometimes happens. A lot of times the main idea is their topic sentence, okay? Because when we do a writing, our topic sentence tells us what?
The main idea.
Tells the main idea of what we're writing about, like what the whole paragraph is about. So it doesn't always happen, but a lot of times the main idea is like right at the beginning of the paragraph. So if we knew that tip, how could we look at this again to determine the main idea?
Look at the first sentence.
Yeah, okay, well let's do that. Okay, take a look at it.
Since the 1950s, the FCC has prohibited or restricted the use of inappropriate materials.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that is our main idea. So let's go ahead and annotate that. What color is main idea going to be in?
Orange.
Very good. Go ahead and highlight that. The word pregnant or pregnancy, okay? When you talked about the girl's belly or whatever, those are your key details. Okay, so what color do we annotate our key details in?
Green.
In green. Okay, good job, Ryan. And what's the role of our key details? What do the key details do?
Evidence.
Describe main topic, but sentence or whatever.
Yeah, it describes it in more detail. It gives us evidence. Good job. Okay, you guys work on key details, okay?
It says the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, was established in the 1930s to protect the interests of people. The government was granted the ability to censor what is heard and seen. So I mean, I think like whenever we're answering questions, I think that's what we're doing.
The next thing that we're going to do, make sure that you are on page 236. On 236, this is your favorite part. You get to find text evidence to support your answers, and this is where what y'all love to do. You get to defend your answer.
It says, in other words, it's censored what you see on TV and hear on the radio. This has not changed in 60 years. That was it. You could just put the text state.
Okay.
I like that, Nala.
Thank you.
The main reason they're trying to do is like protect like what kids see on TV, so they don't like see anything like inappropriate.
Nah, see, I think if they don't want like their little kids to like see nothing bad, I think that's what the role is good for. So,
Like, really, y'all both right. I mean, it all makes sense, but y'all saying the same thing.
yeah, I think Bossier is right. I think if we were supposed to get on a test, I mean, I can see what you're coming from. So I mean, yeah, he's right. So
That's right, Box. Very good, Box. I think I agree with Box as well. It sounds like you both are saying the same thing using different pieces of text evidence. Good job. When it comes to determining the main idea and highlighting that in your annotations and finding those key details, do you feel as if you are a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Show me on your chest. Ready? Show me. Okay, very good. Okay, I see a range of numbers. Let me tell you something. Nobody leaves here unless we're a 5, okay? And we are almost there. We are going to keep working on main idea. We're going to keep pushing forward. Everybody give yourself a round of applause. You did an excellent job. The second group you will see is my Pre-AP English 1 group. More than 50% of this class consistently scores advanced on English LEAP test, while the others score mastery. We don't stop at advanced and mastery though. They know we keep pushing. With this group, you will see less scaffolding from me and more independent work with demanding material as my role shifts to more of a facilitator of learning. In today's learning cycle for this class, you will see us read the article, The Work You Do, The Person You Are, from Unit 3 of the College Board Pre-AP curriculum. Then you will witness students working with intentionally paired partners to annotate text with a focus on rhetorical strategies. In the final activity, students shift into pods of 4 to identify and discuss the rhetorical effects of contrast. Academic talk with their partners and in their pods is essential to the learning cycle with this group because they learn best through proving each other wrong or right and through finding their own evidence. You'll get to see some of that today. The second thing I'm looking for, okay, this is a big one for us, evidence-based discussions. When you are with your group, I want to hear not just your opinion about it, I want that evidence-based discussion. Are there any questions about what I'm looking for today? Someone explain to me very briefly, because we've done a ton of work on this, but what is a rhetorical strategy? Go ahead, Elizabeth.
How the author proves its claim.
Okay, a way that the author proves its claim. Does anyone want to add to that? Cooper?
Like a strategy he uses to like build the claim and support his argument.
A strategy he uses to support his argument. Okay, very good.
Things that were common in her neighborhood, absent in mine. In the middle of the war, she had butter, sugar, steaks, and seam up the back stocking.
Okay, so now you guys are going to go ahead and annotate with your partner. Remember that you are focusing on rhetorical strategies. Once you find your rhetorical strategies, go ahead and discuss the impact of that rhetorical strategy with your partner.
Common and absent are opposites of each other, so that's contrast.
Well, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, but the capitalization of her, wouldn't that mean something for the, like, wouldn't that mean something?
It could, but do you know what I mean though by contrasting? It's opposites of what they have to go through and what they have to work for.
So, like, the difference
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that.
Yeah. Similar thing where status in the position.
And I think it just shows how she has no appreciation and how basically the things that she does to help her family, she only gets like a little appreciation, like a nod.
Okay, what about you, Emily?
Okay, I see where Josie's coming from, but like I kind of disagree. I think that like as it says right here, a larger part of my pride is based on the fact that I gave half my wages to my mother, and I think that it's like she's happy that she's providing for her family because she thinks that she's able to do something and help out.
Okay.
I think that honestly, I think it's just like
Talking about mine.
Mine? Yeah, I mean, look at mine. Mine is horrible.
How am I going to make a presentation?
It's just like
We'll do it like in a little bit. Very excellent work doing your annotations. I want you guys to check out our rhetorical strategies list. Emma and Easton added capitalization and contrast to our rhetorical strategies. Why don't you guys just expand on that really quickly?
So I added contrast because it said the sentence where it says things that were common in her neighborhood were absent, and it was contrasting that they have different lives in their neighborhoods.
Okay, Emma, speak on that a little bit more. Tell me like the impact on a reader with that contrast.
It explains to the reader more about like the different lifestyles that they have to live in, what they have to like work harder for just to get. So the one person has more common things than the other girl because she doesn't have a very good life.
Okay, so it gives us a little bit more insight into her life. Okay, very good. For each paragraph, you're going to identify a quote that demonstrates contrast. We had several people give us one already. Molly Kate gave us one, Emily gave us one, Emma did as well. Okay, you are looking for those contrasting words. Then you are going to answer the additional question that addresses word choice. Okay, word choice. That is also a rhetorical strategy that we have studied.
And let me ask you a quick question, Caleb. What is the contrast between zinc?
The contrast between zinc tub and Hoover vacuum cleaner was that zinc tub was just a very generic name because it was listing the element it was made of, and the Hoover vacuum cleaner is like the brand name from the actual trademarked company.
Okay, so very good. Okay, right on. So we know that an author does everything on purpose. What was the purpose? Why do you think Toni Morrison did that?
It kind of showed that the lady that she worked for was very rich and she could afford the store brands and didn't have to get like the generic brands of things.
I like that too. Hey, good work.
Okay, Riley, you want to add to that?
I kind of agree with what she's saying, but I feel like on a broader scale, it could show the reader how like she's in like a different like social and like economic class than her boss, and how like they can afford different things, and maybe the reader could like relate to that if they're like not as fortunate to buy like better vacuums or like have like lesser things in their home. Maybe like the reader could relate to what she's going through.
Okay, so maybe the effect of using the brand name is something that the reader could relate to. Okay, very good. Put your fist on your chest. Okay, thumbs up if you're like, Miss Machen, I've got this. I can analyze with the best of them. I'm ready for sophomore pre-AP English. Thumbs down if you're like, hey, I probably could use a little bit more work on this. Okay, ready? Go ahead and show me, guys. Okay, excellent. I do see some thumbs down. That is quite all right. This is the beginning of us working on this, and we are really looping in summary a little bit when I want us to move more towards analyzing, okay? So don't worry, we have a whole workbook. That's what Unit 3 is all about. We are right where we need to be, and I'm proud of the work you did today. We'll just build on that. Through these videos, I hope you were able to recognize that my reading language class and my pre-AP class basically had the same cycle of learning, and that I do not water down the expectations in the cycle of learning based on ability. After the lessons, both classes continued the learning cycle through small group conferencing, targeted feedback, and revision of work. It was evident after the lesson with my pre-AP class that we'll need more time to focus on moving from summary to more analytical language. So we'll continue to work on that with our next lesson. I'm hopeful you saw through these videos that although these groups of students are very, very different, they have similarities, and they are more similar than even they realize. And that's a lesson for all of us. My name is Leigh with Bossier Parish Schools. Thank you for watching.